Once the Zimmerman trial begins, courtroom seats will be hard to get, but 4 of them will be set aside each day for members of a coalition of local ministers called Sanford Pastors Connecting. They will be there to observe the proceedings and then communicate with their congregations and the public. Joining us now from Sanford, Florida, are the co-chairs of this coalition. The pastor, Jeff Krall, pastor of Family Worship Center, joins us via Skype. And also on the phone, we have Reverend H.D. Rucker, pastor of Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church as well. Good morning to both of you, and thank you both for taking some time with us.
Good morning, Debbie. It's good to be with you.
Pastor Krall, let me start with you. Tell me, what is the fundamental role of this coalition during the Trayvon Martin trial, or the George Zimmerman trial, I should say?
Well, I suppose it's connected to the fact that before this tragedy, Sanford was more of a divided community, and this tragic event has galvanized us. So where the pastors and the chief influencers of the community may have been separated, we feel like it's time for us to be involved in this scenario to bring healing to the city.
And in a practical way, Reverend Rucker, tell us, how will this work? You'll go sit in the courtroom. Will you take notes? Will you give press conferences? Will you inform your congregation during your sermons on Sunday? Practically, how will this work for you?
Yeah, first of all, that should be first Shiloh, because there are 2 Shilohs in Sanford.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Now, we're going to do all of the above. We're to provide a spiritual leadership presence in the courtroom, also be there for counseling. We're going to be available. Our churches will be available if need be to take people there and talk to them. We're there to make sure that we come with the truth that's brought out in the court, opposed any rumors that might occur.
Pastor Krall, can you tell me how this has affected the relationships between clergy since this coalition was formed?
Well, I think it's been very positive. I was asked one time, did this event take race relations back? And I said, I think it took us back in a good way. In other words, we're going back to some of the roots where some of the visions originally started. And where we were perhaps at a stalemate, this event has enabled us to dislodge that stalemate, and we're beginning to dialogue and listen to one another. We're beginning to hear the stories that perhaps we never really heard or listened to before. So this event, I believe, is moving us forward in our relationships with one another.
Reverend Rucker, would you agree with that? I know that racial tension is nothing new to Sanford, Florida, as in many places in the United States. Is this a step forward?
Well, so far, the Trayvon incident has uncovered the nakedness there in Sanford. We as clergy in the Christian community and religious community, we were not communicating or fellowshipping at all. But out of this, we are now coming to the table and beginning to communicate and talk and get beyond what. And what the most important thing is, we've had meetings where we close out the public, and it was just clergy in there, and we confessed, we prayed, we cried, we embraced each other, and we apologized for the past actions, of us not really communicating like we should as children of God.
Reverend Rucker, as I understand it, in the early days of this controversy, I don't think you spoke out publicly. You were approached by the Reverend Al Sharpton for a First Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church to be a site for the first rally held for Trayvon Martin. Why did you decide to participate and get involved in this?
Well, my position is that if a family or someone that's in any kind of trouble, if they don't come to me, I don't go witch hunting. I don't get involved. But in this situation, Al Sharpton people contact me about having a rally at my church that was supposed to have been about 400 people. Then day 2, it went to 2,000, and next thing we know, it was like around somewhere between 20 and 30,000 people coming to this rally. So we had to move it downtown, and the city was very lean in helping us relocate that rally. But no, I was not going to get involved if I'm not asked to get involved.
I understand. Pastor Krall, let me just ask you this. Will you frame any of your messages to your parishioners, to your congregants, around the themes that come up during this trial? Will this participation in the coalition inform your sermons at all going forward?
Yes, and I think what we need to do is take it beyond just sermonizing. I think we need to start developing a conversation with those members in our churches. Right now, the leaders are beginning this dialogue. We're just now beginning to work out these issues, and we're hoping it will continue after the trial. But I think most effectively is in our personal conversation and just helping people maybe cast aside their normal cynicism and their normal prejudices and say, look, we have to move this narrative. We've got to move it forward, or we're going to stay in this stalemate. And so it's in our sermons, but I'm really hoping that it'll be more in the way we live it out, and the way we talk in our living rooms is where it really counts.
Indeed. Pastor Jeff Krall, Reverend H.D. Rucker, thank you both for being with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.